definitely. Because Pepper TV bu nekk si tundi Gambie gi Gambian Talent TV mooy seeni baay man one pack maa ko wax ku ko dinaay nga def leneen comme gars yi ñu ñooy defee yaa ngi understand ñun ñoo fi ñëw xoolal di régler lu fi manqué di mutal lu fi manqué di def lu fi kenn deful
Killer on
When I say smiling coast, you know say na the Gambia. When I say beautiful oceans, you know say na the Gambia. Well, this na Westville. Westville wanna say na the center will connect Banjul, Birkama, Serakunda, and the Carava Avenue Highway. When the coronavirus hit the Gambia on the 15th March, and right now we can say we get over 9 cases. Well, we don't see the government don't take a big step for closed schools and institutions. We don't see upper basic, senior schools, even the university and the colleges, they all don't lock. Well, today the Creole corner say more go waka to one lecturer who they teach na the GTTI. More ask himself what in your point of view or what in your take to the closure of schools and institutions.
Yeah, I think that was a measure taken by the government, which I think is a good one, because you know the Gambia is part of the community of nations, and so whatever is happening in other parts of the world, you know, eventually affects Gambia. And of course, you do recall that sometime in March, this global epidemic, you know, arrived in the Gambia. So because of that, the government was actually kind of, you know, urged to take that kind of measure. I think it's a good one. Yeah.
You think it's a good move?
Yeah, it's a good move because it's a measure that is meant to kind of control the spread of the coronavirus, which you and I do not know much about. So that is why the government decided to go that way, you know, as a way to kind of control the spread, because it's an enemy that we cannot see, you know. Then the only way to kind of strategize against it is to kind of bring in a measure of that nature. Yeah.
You as a teacher, for now we can see schools are closed, but if you step out, you can see children playing everywhere, adults buying attire at the front of their gates. Do you think closing school was the best move to stop people from having close contacts?
Yeah, well, as far as education authorities are concerned, and the government at large, you know, Gambia, West Africa and Africa, and the world at large, I mean, it was a measure taken by respective governments. So the Gambia could not isolate itself from that. You know, that is one. Secondly, nationally also, we do know how children do crowd, you know, at school. So it was best for education authorities to kind of close schools in order to have the children home, because one of the things or measures that are being preached or even talked about is social distancing and staying at home. You know, that we should stay home except you have something urgent or so much important for you to do, then you go out. So for children, I'm not sure they have that much to do outside, so they should stay home. Yeah.
So how does the COVID-19 pandemic affect you as a teacher and as a family guy? How does it affect you?
Well, as a teacher, you see that we are losing time. We have lost time. You know. Now, when the announcement was made on the 17th of March, you know, um, the ban or the lockdown or what you call it, the restriction was to take effect on the 18th. That was on a Wednesday. So it took effect that day. That was, we are in the 11th week of the second term. The middle of the 11th week of the second term. Then, understand? And we are supposed to have something like 12 weeks, 12.5 weeks. That is 12 weeks, 5 days for that time. So when the announcement was made and it took effect on the 18th, then we are in the middle of the 11th week. So calculate that period to the end of the term. Then you realize that we lost about 13 days. 13 days, right? If you convert that to the instructional hours, that would be something like 130 instructional hours. You know, we do have 5 instructional hours per day for a single, I call it, for schools that are having one shift, a single shift school, you know, is 5 hours. So for double shift, which is more or less common with public schools, they are talking about losing 10 hours per day. You know, but for private schools and some mission schools, they are talking about 5 days, 5 hours per day. So you realize that if you quantify that, it will give you something like 130 hours lost for that time. You know, so that, you know, time loss is never gain. You see, and that's why people say time is money. So we have lost that time. So that's how it has affected us. You know, because there is nowhere where you can go and buy time to come and augment or compensate that. So we have lost that. So that's how it has affected us. Because another way it has affected us as teachers is that we could not complete the term's work. You know? And so some schools started exams a day or two before that day. Some were to begin the following Monday. Some were to even start on that very Wednesday that the ban took effect. So you see that some schools, they found them, they were taken unawares. You understand? And so the children went home shocked, parents, everybody is just panic. You understand? And another impact or effects is that closure, that ban, or this ban that we are now experiencing has come along with uncertainty. You know, both teachers, parents, even authorities, they do not know when this COVID-19 is going to end. You understand? So for some of us, students are calling, asking, when are we going back? Where are we going to start? Are we going to start continuing with our exams, or we are going to start lectures, or what? So for now, we are just saying, let's wait. You see, so the whole thing is kind of gloomy. You know, we don't know what is going to happen the next few days or months.
Yeah. The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education introduced a method of radio and television learning. How do you see that? What's your take in that? Do you think that's a good move, or do you think students learning from that?
Yes, indeed. To some extent, it's good because, you know, the authorities ask the students to stay home, and one way to keep them busy is to engage them. And so I think that was why the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education came up with that that method. It's a nice one. I do see around, you know, students, people gathering in front of television, you know, listening to the program. Yes, but then it has some attendance problems because one, it's making the parent to be, you know, more confused. You know, they have not used to supervising students during their learning process. Most parents, Understand? So now they are being forced to supervise their children learning. So some of them are finding it very difficult, you see. And besides, it's making them to spend more money. You know, if they are used to budget, say like 100 or 150 or $200 for cash power, now the children have to use the television for more than or longer than the usual. So they are going to spend more money buying cash power. You understand? And they also have to, particularly like working parents, single parents. You know, some of them, they are essential workers because the government say essential workers should go to work. Understand? Imagine the parent is a security personnel or a public servant. Understand? Or a nurse or something. She has to go to work and the children are at home. So you see, there is kind of a problem there for that parent as to how to balance these two. You know, but when things were normal, the parent would take the child to school, would be there until its closure, until the closing of the school, then the parent will come along and pick the child, come home. But now, that parent will have to, you know, make do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you see, those are some of the things. But on the whole, it's nice because the children need to be engaged. Yeah. Also, you can see that the attention span of the student, you know, need to be taken into consideration. You know, normal class, you see that the teacher will use, you know, different skills to get the children engaged and follow up the lesson. But here, they will just face the television, the teacher will be talking, you know, forgetting about different students having different learning styles and all of that.
Even some kids in this urban areas, some they don't have chance to televisions.
Yeah.
They only have radios. So teaching in radios and televisions, although it's a good method, but from your own point of view, do you think the students are really learning from that?
Yeah, well, like I said, you also have to consider the level of the student. You know, when we talk of students, you have those that are in tertiary institution, those that are in secondary school, like 10, 11, 12. You have those that are junior school, 7, 8, 9. You have primary, you understand? Then you have the kindergarten. You know, so, but normally we just say student. You understand? So now, it depends on the category of student you are referring to. You see? If you are talking about maybe the senior school student, yeah, they are learning. You're talking about maybe the college, university student, yes, they are learning. You see, I was even made to understand that UTG have kind of changed their lectures into, convert that to online lectures, and which is fine. So now the students will study in the comfort of their homes, right? And that will save them from paying transport or, you know, fear going to the college every day and come. That's fine. But then if you are looking at like the kindergarten or primary school or even junior school, some of them, you know, I told you of attention span. Some of them, they can only concentrate for like 10, 15 minutes. After that, you see, but the television now will not consider this. But the teacher in the class now will know that this student, you know, is losing interest. So the teacher will do one or two things. That's why they are all trained teachers. Will do one or two things to get back the students to focus. But the television now will not do that. Do you understand? Yeah. And for kindergarten, they learn more through play. So the television will not come up with several skills to let the children play. While the teacher in the class will bring those play things, you know, and the children will be playing and learning. But the television will not do that. So those are the things. But on the whole, ministry want to engage the students. Well, students in all categories, you know. So I think for now it's too early to kind of assess that program, because like I said, we have just spent like two weeks. You understand? We have just spent like 2 weeks. The whole the second term was like 2 weeks we are affected because now we are in the holiday. Yeah. This holiday will end next Monday. Understand? So maybe the ministry is coming up with an impact evaluation exercise, and that will be the time that they are going to look at all these things and evaluate and then come up with something else to,
Boost
improve,
it up.
improve it. But for now, that is what we have, and that is what we can kind of rely on. Yeah.
So coming to the issue of institutions like GTTI that you're teaching, we've seen lessons provided for universities, colleges, senior schools, but I haven't seen like skill training centers or institutions like GTTI. So what's your take in that?
Yeah, you recall that GTI is being transformed into university, so they are working on that. So before even this closure, lectures started like a week. I mean, university lectures started like a week and then it stopped. So now, being a technical institution, I'm sure our authorities are working on that. Yes, they will soon come up with something that will help the student. I don't think that will be a problem. Yeah.
So how is this learning process, like converting GTTI to a university, and it met up with this coronavirus pandemic? How is it affecting the institution, GTTI, you as a lecturer in there?
Yeah, well, like you just came to talk to me about that, but the registrar will be in the right position to address that kind of issue. Understand? So for that one, I would want to differ. Okay. Because he needs to address it. If I had gotten enough information about this, I would have contacted him, and then probably he would have given me some more ideas. But what I know is that they are working on that, and it will be fine. Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you face
Concerning the challenges on what?
The challenges that you face concerning the pandemic now, with the teaching field and students, because some students they rely more on their teachers. Some will be asking you for private classes, or some will be asking you for when will classes start. So what are the challenges right now you're facing between you and your students?
Yeah, well, one, like I said, is the issue of not being able to give a definite answer. Student will call and say, when are we going back? You cannot say tomorrow. You understand? Because even if I should call my registrar, he also will not tell me come tomorrow, or tell them to come next week. You understand? So that was why I said the whole thing is like gloomy. There is uncertainty surrounding the whole thing. That is the biggest challenge. The uncertainty. We don't know what is going to happen. You see? Yeah, that's the biggest challenge. And so because of that uncertainty, we cannot give definite answer. I know in professional circles or in education generally, we teachers don't tell lies. You understand? If you are going to do it, must be once. Because teaching is telling what? The truth. And so students rely on us, to tell them the truth, at all times. So even in situations like this, they're expecting us to tell them the truth. Yeah, some of them will not ask their parents; they will ask us. You understand? So that is why we are very careful not to say anything that will, that will not be the truth. Yeah. So we are just waiting to gather more information so that we can be able to relate to it. Yeah, but the biggest challenge is the uncertainty surrounding the whole thing.
So if you are to give a key advice right now to the ministry, what advice will you give them when it comes to education stuff right now?
Yeah, well, one, they should continue with this radio television program, but then they should also try to consider the grade levels, like I talked about the kindergarten, primary school, 1, 2, 3, grade 6 up to grade 6, junior secondary. So if they are able to, break the lectures or the teaching into the various levels like that, then I think it will be more effective. Yes. Again, in schools, they have what we call cluster monitors. People from the ministry that come around the school, maybe every week or twice a week, to check what the teachers are doing. But with this online or radio or television program, there is no cluster monitor. You see, to really see how effective the parents or the thing is, the children are focusing. So that is why they need to look at that. But then, like I said, it's too early to make an impact assessment because we are just 2 weeks down. If the holiday finishes, we are going to, schools are supposed to open on the 20th this month, which is next week Monday. So after that period, but remember we also have another extension of the lockdown. We have 45 days. That will end around 22nd of May. It started on the 8th of September. Sorry, of this April. It's going to end on the 22nd of May. So even if schools were to open on the 20th, we cannot open now because of the presidential address or presidential directive. Understand? So then it means that the program the ministry is rolling out is supposed to continue on radio and on television. But if they should now kind of look at it and say, okay, now let's have our target group like junior secondary school or even in junior secondary, let's say grade 7, exclusively for grade 7. Let's say like Monday is only for grade 7 on radio. So everywhere around the country, that program will be for grade 7. Tuesday, grade 8. It will be for grade 8. Then, like that, you understand? I think in so doing, then the parent themselves will. But when you just say radio program, television, they will see grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, they will come and listen. So what is the target group there? So the others that are not the target group, they will be there, but they will not get it. Or even if they are there, but it will be either it will be too high for them or too low for their level. Understand? That is why there are supposed to be a specific target, and the ministry is supposed to come out and say, okay, now this program is for grade 7. Tuesdays of every week, grade 7 from 8 to, let's say 8 to, if it is 1 hour or so, 8 to 9. Yeah? So then all grade 7 will be seated and listen to the what? The lectures or the teaching. Yeah? Equally so, they can say it's for grade 8. And then grade 8 will come around. Grade 9. Now if it were not for this problem, grade 12 are supposed to have been in exams now. Supposed to have started the exams. That's practicals, English language oral or French oral, things like that. But because of this program, they cannot do that. So they should also target them, maybe revision classes and things like that. But I am not privy to the information or content of this program yet, because I do see my neighbor here. Early mornings will come out to television, and I do see other neighboring children come around to sit in front of. There was a time I asked her, are they speaking English or Wolof? Because the children will come, they'll be talking Wolof there, and the program is in English. I don't know what is which. Yeah. You see, so that's it. So those are some of the problems, and those are my suggestions. Advice,
yeah. Yes. That was a wonderful one. Well, just your final message to the viewers right now.
Yeah, well, viewers, I want to say that it's been a great program. It's been a great day for us, and then I want to also thank the Ministry of secondary and basic and secondary education for this wonderful program that it is rolling out to the student. I'm sure it's helping the student. And I also want to say thanks to the government for taking this step to help us, to help the nation, in controlling the coronavirus. And there is also another move that I realize. I now see that the markets are closing at 2 o'clock or thereabouts. So that also is another one, because now we have been advised to keep distance, maintain distance, avoid contacts, and then wash hands, use sanitizers. We should all try to stick to these directives so that it will help us. Like we said, there's uncertainty surrounding this whole program. So the best we can do is to adhere to the directives given by the government, the health authorities, and partners. I think that's the way we can keep ourselves safe, right? Because Corona has come to be a burden on us, just like some people are born to be a burden on others. So is Corona has come to be a burden on governments. You understand? So we should not take it lightly. We should believe that it is real, and then adhere to the directives given by the authorities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rap Alibaba, Alabai, Soldier, Killer, ACE, Bunday. You know what I'm saying? Always down with Gambian Talents Promotion, holding it down with the whole entire team. Kuboka Sigetigi, Nancy Melmi, by Kenwoman.